Memorial March, played by the United States Marine Band for the Columbia Phonograph Company, Washington, D.C.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. If you start finding your seats, we will be getting underway shortly. If you're a sailor, we'll be hoisting in the gangway. If you're in the Army, the truck's about to leave. If you're in the Air Force, the plane's about to take off. And if you're in the Marines, we're about to start walking. Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, and our loved ones, we're about to get started. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Well, almost Friday. The weekend is here. We have to report back at 1 o'clock, so our operation today must index at 1300. Welcome to the 2024 Veterans Day celebration hosted by the Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success Department. I am your host, Christopher Kimball. I'm not only a veteran and your host, I'm also an HCC success story. I came to HCC as a high school dropout. I had to get my GED to join the Marines after 9/11. So 20 years in another career. My body was telling me I needed to go to college. I came to HCC to study animation. I took 5 courses at a time. I ended up on the dean's list 4 consecutive times. And anytime HCC needs me, I will fast rope through this window to be here for you. And I must be on my best behavior today because my dear mother is here sitting in the front. Thank you for coming, Mom. So today, tomorrow, this whole weekend and Monday, we are celebrating you, my brothers, my sisters in arms. The thing we all have in common in this room is at one point in our life, we held up our hand and we promised to put our life on the line for this country and its future. And I am so proud to be in this room with people who did the same thing. So give yourself a round of applause. So to get us started, let us stand and give a warm welcome for the Pledge of Allegiance and the presentation of our incident colors by the Fur High School U.S. Army Junior ROTC.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and pledge to the Texas state flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The pledge to the Texas state flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
And please remain standing for a rendition of our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you for High School U.S. Army JROTC for that beautiful presentation. Those of us in this room who went down to that recruiting office and signed that contract and endured that boot camp, served our time, and then discharged once our journey came to an end. I'm sure we all know someone that was with us on that journey whose end looked a lot differently than our own. I would like to point your attention to the right of me, your left. You may notice a lonely table, an empty chair, and a place setting with no one to fill the space. This designated seat is for the missing man or the missing woman, the individual who went down to that recruiting office, signed that contract, endured boot camp, and while serving his or her time, their journey abruptly ended. That individual is the fallen soldier, the soldier who gave the ultimate sacrifice and died while serving our country. That individual also is the soldier that went missing and whose return we deeply yearn for. The white tablecloth symbolizes the purity of the service. The single red rose represents the blood shed by the service member. The red ribbon illustrates the continued determination to account for our missing service members. The inverted glass personifies the service member's inability to share a toast. The empty chair conveys the isolation of the missing service member. The lighted candle reflects the hope for the service member's return. The Bible exemplifies the strength gained through faith to sustain us. The slice of lemon reminds us of the bitter fate of the captured or the missing. And the pinch of salt signifies the tears of the missing, the fallen, and their families. Let us now take a moment of silence to honor their sacrifice and remember their legacy. May we remember them always and live out our lives with gratitude for their ultimate sacrifice. Those of us who had the privilege of returning home safely, let's hear it. Stand up. This is a celebration. And let's do a roll call. While you're on your feet, let's do a roll call. Where are my Marines at? Semper Fi, Devil Dog, Yut Yut. Where's the Air Force? Air Force in the house? All right, Air Force. I'm very jealous. I wanted to join the Air Force. They hung up the phone on me. What about my sailors? Where my sailors at? My Navy people. All right, shipmate. I see you. What about anybody from the Coast Guard? No Coast Guard? That's right, because that means they're all doing their job. And what about the Space Force? Anybody that fortunate enough to be in the Space Force? Because I do not anticipate a war in space anytime soon, so I know they got a really great job. Hey, and thank you to everyone for your service. I'm so proud to be here with you today again. I'm sorry, that's what a Marine will do. The Army. What about the Army? Who ya? All right. I apologize to the Army. Yes, you may haze me later. My apologies. Wait till I tell the guys what I did. Thank you. So with that, thank you for all your service. And let us receive our official welcome from the president of the online college, Dr. Jerome Drain.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning. So let me just say how delighted I am to be here today to bring you welcome on behalf of Houston Community College, Houston Community College Online College. I tell you, to see the veterans in this audience is truly tremendous and quite heart-touching. Just a personal story. My son, he's a senior, plays football, cornerback, Fulshire High, has committed to play football for the Air Force Academy. So I am so pleased that he will be joining the ranks of many of you in this room. In addition to that, my wife is a veteran of the Air Force as well. So these celebrations have lots of meaning to me personally, as well as to the country. So thank you for your service and your efforts as well. Today we pay tribute to all of the men and women who have stood ready to answer the call to protect our freedoms and our way of life. We also honor their families who have supported them every step of the way, sacrificing time together, often enduring challenges of their own. Veterans Day is a day of gratitude, reflection, and recognition. It reminds us of the courage and resilience it takes to serve and the responsibilities we bear as a community to support and honor those who have done so. It is your service that ensures the freedom that allows us to pursue our dreams, live in safety, and strive toward a better future. So for all those veterans in the audience today, please know that we deeply appreciate your dedication and your sacrifice. Your service has made a difference not only to this country, but also to every one of us here today. We owe you a debt of gratitude that cannot be fully expressed in words. So as I bring welcome, thank you, thank you, thank you. And let us all reflect on the tremendous contributions and sacrifices of our veterans as we commemorate this day. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Drain, for that warm welcome. Next up, we will hear from our leader, the one, the only, the always classy Houston Community College Chancellor, Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher.
You are terrific. Thank you so much. Thank you so very, very much. That was wonderful. I have to say that there is a special place in my heart for veterans also. And I thank you for your service. 3 of my brothers were in the Army. 1 of my brothers was in the Air Force. They are no longer with us. So they would be represented at one of the tables that we see here today. I would like to say thank you once again for your service. This is not merely a date on the calendar, but an opportunity for each of us as students, faculty, and staff to join together in honoring the amazing men and women who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It is a chance to show our gratitude for their sacrifices and their dedication. But why does this matter so much to our college community? Perhaps you have heard the phrase, and I quote, all gave some gave all. And I end that quote. The words are attributed to Korean War veteran and Purple Heart recipient Howard William Osterkamp of Ohio. We remember them because they speak to the true spirit and meaning of why we honor our veterans every year. Every individual who put on the uniform of our country and served in the U.S. Armed Forces sacrificed his or her time and talent to keep our nation secure in the face of possible peril. And yes, some gave all. We honor these men and women at Houston Community College. Our faculty do so by creating a welcoming and inclusive learning environment. And our veterans bring unique perspectives and experiences to our campuses. By acknowledging their service, we let them know that we value them and what they have done on our behalf. For students, this day is an opportunity to connect with our veteran peers. We can learn from their real life experiences and get involved in planning events that include and honor them. It is a chance to say thank you and show our support for those who have served our country. Our staff, too, especially our Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success Office, plays a crucial role in supporting veterans throughout their academic journey, creating an environment where veterans thrive. By celebrating Veterans Day, we remind our veteran students and colleagues that they are not just another face in the crowd. We ensure that they feel valued and supported. We tell those who chose to wear the nation's military uniform that they are truly appreciated and their sacrifices are not forgotten. So this event signals our deep appreciation for the veterans in our college and across the nation. Veterans, your service is an inspiration, and your sacrifices have protected all of us and allowed us to become the great nation that we are today. So thank you so very much for your service and for everything that you have done. Thank you.
Well, this is your chance to laugh at the Marine. My page is gone. So, well, hey, got great backup.
Got 4 copies.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Ford Fisher, for that inspiring message. Now we have come to our favorite time in today's festivities, which, depending on your branch, you're going to call it something different. I imagine if you're in the Air Force, you're going to go to the cafeteria. If you're in the Army, you would probably be going to the chow hall. If you're in the Navy, you'll be going to the galley. And if you've been a Marine, you're going to open that bag up and get that stuff out of there and eat it. So this is chow time. And we are glad to, so please stand and make your way into the reception area where you checked in for the event, and let's have chow together. Uh-oh, I messed up. I'm sorry, I was to introduce the board chair, Dr. Linton Gary, to the stage. And I know what all your Army people are saying. I've been eating crayons, but they are non-toxic. So, Dr. Linton Gary.
You know what? I was going to just let it roll off, and we were going to go eat, because this is a great day. If I never said a word, my heart is so full. The representation of the fallen soldiers have me very emotional. I am so grateful to all of you who have served our country, who put your lives on the line for us. And I stand here as the grandmother, a proud grandmother of a Marine. But my concern is he's in Okinawa and he wants to always call me Nana. Let me tell you about this girl I met. You know, that's his conversation. But again, thank you so much for your service. As we observe Veterans Day, we are reminded of the sacrifices made by the brave men and women who have served in our armed forces. Today, we have this opportunity to reflect on the profound impact that our veterans has had on our country, our freedom, and our way of life. Whether they served in wartime or peacetime, in times of national crisis, or in moments of quiet readiness, our veterans have dedicated themselves to ensure that we as a nation remain free and secure. At HCC, we are proud of the veterans among us, the students, the faculty, and staff who bring their experiences, perspectives, and skills to enrich our community. We deeply value the sacrifices each veteran has made in wearing the uniform. By doing so, you signaled your willingness to put your lives on the line for all of us. You have our gratitude and undying respect. I say God bless you, God bless HCC, and I am so proud to be an American. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Linton Gary. I tell you, with sentiments like that, that'd make me sign those papers all over again. Wouldn't you say? So now I've already let the cat out the bag, and since we're all veterans, you remember that was the question on your mind all day long: when is chow? So chow is now. Veterans, you've got first dibs. If your vets will go get in line first, let's get chow and let's have a good time together. have ticket ending in 326. Last three number. My mom. Well, mom, as a Marine, so here it is. The Marine's gonna fix it. Marines have integrity, and my mother cannot win. Sorry, mom. Sorry. You can whoop me later. My mother cannot win. Okay, they say you can win, mom. But I was offering integrity. You might say I pulled my mother's ticket on purpose. Okay, next number, 358. 358. Do we have ticket 358? No 358? No 358. Next one is 345. Last three digits, 345. All right, we have 345. Come on up. Yes. All right, let's do one more. Last three digits, 364. 364. Ticket number 364. All right, 364. Congratulations, congratulations to our winners. We will be moving on. The next voice you will hear is our moderator of today, Courtney Gudo, and you will be introduced to and be listening to a veteran student panel discussion. Is there anyone here who by chance served due to the draft? Anyone here a draftee? And I ask that because thanks to HCC, I have the ability to teach photography at Daniel Ortiz Jr. Middle School, and I teach my kids about the draft like this. When they come in, I give the bad kid an M, I give the good kid an A, and then I sit them down and I say, I'm going to teach you about what happened to the graduating class of 1967, 68, and 69. Instead of going to get a job or going to college, they had to go to Vietnam. So then I asked them, who has the A? Who has the A on your? And my good kids will raise the A up, and I said, you get to go to the Air Force because you're good. So then my bad kids have an M. And they say, well, Mr. Kimball, what does the M mean? And I say, well, since I'm on the draft board, that M means you're not coming back because you're joining the Marines. So that's how I teach my kids about the draft. I'm probably going to lose my job as soon as their parents find out, but I'm teaching them. So like I said, we're going to keep moving on. The next voice you'll hear is our great moderator, Ms. Courtney Gudo.
Thank you. I have a fan club of one person. Alrighty, so my name is Courtney Goodo. I'm the coordinator for the Veterans Office here at HCC. And today we have prepared a panel for you guys. The panel got started last year for the first time, And it was so successful because Veterans Day is about veterans. So the less you listen to me and the more you listen to them is really how we commemorate the day. So we're going to have our 3 participating panelists join us. If you could hurry up and chew your food. We have Gerald Green. Next panelist we have is Victor Chung. And the last panelist we have is Mr. James Mabel. So this panel is designed to create a dialogue with HCC's very own. That way we're hearing from the source of how we can do better to support veterans and just learn a little bit about their walk. All righty, so let's make sure our mics are working. Okay, so we are going to hear from Mr. James Mabel. First, I would love for you to introduce yourself and then tell us your branch, how long you served.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Mabel. Serve as Interim Director of Alumni Affairs and Career and Transfer Services. And I had the pleasure of serving in the United States Marines back in the 90s. Hoorah. And that was in a different time, in the 1990s. I'd like to say it was in a very quiet time in our country's history. I'm glad to have served.
Thank you for that introduction. All right, Mr. Gerald Green, what do you do here for HCC, and in what capacity did you serve our country?
Welcome. Thank you, everybody. My name is Gerald Green. I'm a designated school official, and a better term for that is International Student Advisor, just a glorified name that we use in higher ed. I work only with international students, as more of a immigration type person, making sure they maintain their immigration status while here at HCC. From the very beginning until the end, we work with the students in all capacities, making sure they stay in status and make sure the dollars are flowing into HCC. They pay an enormous amount of money, unlike domestic students, and our sole purpose is to make sure they remain here and be their contact person or their one person away from their home countries.
Thank you, Mr. Green. And then last but not least, we have Victor Chung. Can you introduce yourself, tell us how you're affiliated with HCC and how you served?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victor. I am currently a student at HCC, well, a dual student with both HCC and University of Houston. I'm currently the president for the HCC SVA Central Campus chapter. And I'm also a member at the U of H SVA chapter as well. I think the very beneficial aspect of that is the HCC chapter, like, we're starting off really great, right? We're starting off really great, but there's a lot of more good ideas that I can pick from U of H where I could implement to HCC. So it's currently a work in progress, but we'll definitely, signify the prominence for the SVA chapter in HCC. So I'll just like to ask of you for your support for the SVA chapter at HCC. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Okay, so let's get started with our questions. First question for James. What inspired you to join the military?
Okay, so on my dad's side, I have a whole host of uncles. Many of my uncles served in all the branches. My grandfather served in the Army, great-grandfather served in the Army. And when I was a senior in high school, I was one of those kids that was still trying to figure out what I was going to do in life. And the Marines happened to be coming in, 2 recruiters in their uniforms, and it was senior day. And they came up to me. There was about 300 students in a room. They walked up right to me and they asked, "Hey, what are your plans after high school?" And I said, I don't know. I'm thinking about college, various things. And they said, well, would you like to come and talk to us about maybe joining the Marines? Now, they didn't know that I had a favorite uncle of mine when I was a kid that he'd always come home from the military. He was in the Marines, but he'd always go to church in his uniform. And it was amazing to see that. And so I was thinking about him when I saw them in the uniforms, and they happened to know my uncle.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm from College Station, and my uncle was at the Houston MEPS, and the recruiters there happened to know my uncle. And my uncle called me and gave me a pep talk about why joining the Marines versus the Army. And now my dad served in the Army, so I was thinking about my dad a lot. Yeah. But then my uncle, he kind of gave me that pep talk about long term. I was 18, and he said, hey, think about your resume. Think about the prestige of you joining this little small club. Go into the Marines. And I told him, I said, hey, I heard the boot camp's tough. You know, that's going to be a crazy period. He said, you'll get through it, but think long term about this decision. And it was the best decision I made as a senior in high school.
Wow, thank you, James. I feel like that question is going to be different for every veteran, their why. So that was a nice perspective of yours. Next question we have for Gerald. Can you tell us about your best military memory?
My best military memory was more outside of the military as far as what I was doing in the military. One of the places that I visited in the Navy, I was in the Navy, it's a special breed of people, sailors are. I went to Egypt, in Alexandria, Egypt. That was days before direct deposit. I had plenty of cash, at least so I thought I did at the age of 18. And I exchanged a lot of my monies. So I went out on the shore and was spending up everything. So we were there for 3 days. On the last day, on the time for us to come back, I said, okay, what am I going to do with this money? I wasn't a smart kid, so I didn't realize that, I can exchange this money and get U.S. dollars again. I didn't know that. People didn't tell you those things in those days. So what I did, I went around the neighborhoods and I saw a bunch of, kids, and I was passing out the Egyptian pounds. So, and their parents were looking at me, and I wasn't sure if they were looking at me because of good deeds or was I just crazy for giving away money. And I gave away all the money, and I kept just that one single bill that I keep for souvenirs on all the countries I've ever been to. In my man cave, I have currency from everywhere I've been. And that was probably one of the greatest moments because I saw how they seen me and what I was doing. And that was just something that I always done. I just like to give away because I realized that we live in the greatest country on earth. And people are a lot less fortunate than we are. And just that simple spare change that I had in my hand made a big difference in a lot of people's lives.
Wow, how generous of you. All right, Victor. So your first question, do you recall your first few days in service? Can you share what that was like, that transition?
Absolutely. So to put y'all into a perspective, I was not raised in anywhere in the States. I was actually born and raised in the island of Guam, right? The island of Guam is very small, where it takes about an hour and a half to, go all around the island, maybe even just 15 minutes, like wherever you live, you're only 15 minutes away from the beach, right? So after graduating high school, after going into boot camp, actually, yeah, on the way from the San Antonio airport, on the way to Lackland Air Force Base, I was just amazed, right? Like I'm seeing all of these different fast food chains. I've never heard of a Whataburger before. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, what is a Jack in the Box? You know what I mean? So like, I was just very like, it was surprising, right? It was life changing for me. It's like, imagine this. I don't know if it's a stateside phrase, but that saying where I was essentially a frog in a well, right? And then after coming to stateside for the first time, I see how big it is, and then even once we get into boot camp, and then as we're marching all over the place, I see like rabbits and like squirrels, and I'm like, am I in Disney or something? It was pretty crazy. And then there was that, and then after boot camp, when I was sent to my first duty station in Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, that's when I got my first car, right? Now, the maximum speed limit in Guam is 35 miles per hour, but straight out of the dealership was 55. So I'm screaming, God bless America, as I drive 55 miles per hour for the first time in my life. So yeah, the first year was very, very life changing. And, I was actually I was grateful that, that I've gone through the whole, the recruiting office process. So.
That is hilarious. So the military, from what I've heard, can offer you so many different opportunities. It's passing out dollars in Egypt or seeing rabbits for the first time in your life. Very interesting. Okay, so Gerald, how do you think the military has shaped your life? Overall, what did you learn about yourself, or any overall life lessons?
Well, I came from a family where I only knew strict order and discipline. That's it. I didn't do a whole lot. There were no corners being cut. My dad was a tough customer. I used to think he was a Marine at one time, but he wasn't. So going into the military, a lot of things that I had to adjust to, I was sort of used to them. There wasn't a big change for me other than getting up early in the morning. I always thought myself was a machine at the age of 18. I could do anything and everything. So a lot of things that I encountered was nothing new for me. I think I was made to be into the military. And I one time figured I should have been a Marine because I did go to the Marine Corps. I had a appointment with the Marine Corps recruiter. And as I was walking outside, a couple of sailors were standing out front of the office and said, "Hey, kid, where you going?" I said, "I got an appointment with the Marine recruiter." "I know you do. What's your name?" I said, "Gerald." "Oh, yeah. You got one at 1 o'clock, right?" I said, "Yeah. Come on back. We got to talk to you first before you can go over there." And they did a job on me for about 30 minutes, and the rest was history. I became a sailor. But to this day, I still fold a lot of my clothes the same way I did when I was on ships. I still see things beyond what I can actually see. When I see Dr. Drain, I'm seeing somebody behind him. I'm never, looking at things short term, always long term. And I do that today, even at HCC. I might be the chancellor in a few years.
Well, thank you.
I'm always looking ahead.
Thank you so much. That's an interesting perspective with the short-sighted view.
Yeah.
Okay, James, what bit of advice would you give to veterans or even active duty service members who choose HCC as an education destination?
All right. I recommend that veterans here at HCC, or those thinking about HCC, should think about getting involved. I will say, I said that I went into the Marines in a different time in the 1990s, and the resources that are available here at HCC or available to veterans is unbelievable to ensure you're successful. So I would say veterans should connect, get involved, join student organizations, talk to the Veterans Office, attend events, really get assimilated into the culture while you're at school, because I understand from a veteran standpoint that when you get out, you may feel that somehow that people can't relate to you. And that was a different chapter in your life. And so it's time to kind of transition and open up and involve more people in your life and your journey. And at the same time, you could be a testimony, you could be a blessing to someone in what you experienced in the military. And if you've been a leader in the military, you could share in the leadership skills that you've developed in the military within your fellow classmates, joining a student organization, becoming a leader in a student organization. All of that is important in assimilating into the civilian life. And I know it's not easy, depending on when that veteran left the military, what their experience was in the military at that time, what's going on in the country. All of those factors play a huge role in someone just simply transitioning and trusting and getting involved on a college campus. So that's what I would suggest for veterans.
That's very, very accurate based on what we see here at HCC. And I have to shout out my Central campus. We have Mr. Ron Taylor, he's a veteran. We have Rochelle Bailey, she's a veteran. Shallon Kennedy, he's a veteran. We have Nelson, he's a veteran. And we have the most fabulous Miss Denise Whitener, she's a veteran. So we have all of these veterans that are at our Central campus, and I'm sure that you guys can attest to it. When they see a veteran walk through those doors who seem shut off from reality or going through the motions, they can clock it before I can. I'm just a regular civilian. They see those struggles because they too have struggled. So when I say that they're the subject matter experts, they truly are, because they've been in those shoes. So it's really important, back to what James said about getting involved. If you don't go to the Veteran Resource Centers, you have a Miss Denise there waiting for you. She's going to feed you. You have a Mr. Ron Taylor there waiting for you. He has a list of veteran resources that he sends out to anybody who he thinks is a veteran. Hey, are you a veteran? Is your husband a veteran? Did you know about this? Like, we have a family here ready and willing to help you. So the first step is just getting involved. So thank you so much for that, and thank you, Central. I love you guys. Okay, so let's see. Victor, the process of you getting out of the military and transitioning into civilian life, it could look different for everyone, but what are some things that helped you through that process?
For mine specifically, like you said, everybody's perspective is different when they separate out of the military, right? For mine, I would say mine was actually pretty rough, because I separated on August of 2020. That was during the peak of COVID. And then in Air Force, we call it TAPS. I think it stands for Transition Assistance Program, something like that. When we were doing it through Zoom, from their perspective, it's like, we're trying to help you, but at the same time, the way how they were going through so much valuable information was almost just skimming. So to be honest, it didn't really help me much. And then when I separated from the military, I was just trying to figure out everything on my own. I didn't know that I could get healthcare from the VA. I didn't know how to actually apply for post 9/11 or VRNE. So it was like my very first reaction was just to apply for jobs and then just live like that for the rest of my life. So yeah, I worked as an assistant manager at AutoZone for about 9 months, but I don't want to complain too much, but I had a hard time working 16 hours a day, around 16 hours a day, maybe 1 day off a week, right? I did that for 9 months and then moved to Houston, and then the first person I met was actually Mr. Gabriel at the HCC A-Leaf campus. He explained everything from A to Z on how to start school very easily, right? So yeah, HCC has from my perspective, has a dear place in my heart in terms of adapting better into the civilian life, getting more adjusted to the civilian life as a veteran, and getting all the resources that's beneficial for me. And that definitely inspired me to becoming the president of the SVA, ensuring that no veteran is left behind, no veteran is going through the same thing as I did, because I wouldn't want anyone else to go through what I did, what I had to go through. So
thank you, Victor. And also thank you, Gabe. That's not the first time we've heard something like this from one of our very own, specifically Gabe. So thank you for doing what you do. It means a lot, I'm sure. Alrighty. And then our last question we have here is for James. Monday, November 11th is officially Veterans Day. How do you think people should show their appreciation for veterans?
I think it's important for people in general and how they recognize the service that veterans have committed is really just being united. United in how we treat each other at work when we see people personally. Sometimes you may clearly see someone as a veteran and obviously reaching out, shaking their hand and thanking them for their services paramount. I think also at the same time, just how we treat each other is extremely important because veterans who have served, thinking about the things they go through, you've kind of heard from Victor, the things that people go through personally, we don't see. We don't see what someone, when they're getting out of the military or when they're in the military, what they're going through personally, professionally, emotionally. And so they're putting all of that on the line to ensure all of us are free to express ourselves, to live our lives, to pursue our dreams, to pursue our careers. But there's someone right now that's overseas, someone right now on a military base in the United States, around the world, that's giving their all 24/7 because you don't take it off. It's not just a job, 8 to 5, I go home, I eat, and I go to sleep. These people are doing this right now as we speak. So I recommend that people on Veterans Day just remain united and treat each other well with just mutual respect. That's how we can honor our veterans.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We really appreciate your perspective and hearing from the veterans. I'm very passionate about Veterans Day and making sure that everybody knows what we're doing, why we're doing it, and who we're doing it for. So thank you for being a perfect representation of who we're doing this for. Thank you.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. Kudos to you, right?
Before I keep going, if you're not a veteran, you're a civilian, and you're looking at us, I hope you see that none of us really need an introduction to each other because as veterans, especially that Marine in the back, he knows that I had to jump over the same wall he did. Soldier over there knows we've all done the same thing, and that is a special type of camaraderie. All we have to do is just know that we're veterans and we know that we have all done the same thing. So as we continue, we are now at the Student and Staff Award recognition. And this is with Dr. Brett Haddock, the Dean of Online College, and Capri Thomas, the Director of Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success, or VMAS. And I shall turn it over.
Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate you stepping up and doing this. How about another round of applause for James? The statements that he made are truly astound our We Care Act as well. So as Dean of Students, I want to say we do care about our students, and we want to make sure that we are reaching out and being there for every one of you, whether you come in as a veteran, come in as a first-generation student, or somebody that's got a background in higher education and a family history. We welcome everybody. The opportunity is here. All right. So I think we've reached the afternoon portion. Happy Friday, everybody. I am Brett Haddock. I have the great privilege of serving as Dean for the Student Services, Student Success with the Online College. And I have the great duty to introduce and recognize some of our staff. I'm joined today by my colleague, Ms. Capri Thomas, the Director of Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success, VMAS, as we call it, right? I think second to military, we have the most acronyms in higher education. Maybe not like that close, but at any rate, we are here to support Veterans Day. It's an important tradition for us as we recognize and honor the incredible service and sacrifice of the men and women who have served our country. Today, we'd like to take a moment to honor two remarkable individuals who have not only served our country in the military, but continue to make meaningful impacts here at HCC. Whether as dedicated staff members or as students committed to HCC, their educational journey Their presence enriches our lives, our community, and exemplifies the strength, resilience, and dedication that veteran students bring to every endeavor. It is an honor to recognize their contributions both in service to our country and to our HCC family. I would like to take a moment to recognize one of my esteemed colleagues who's worthy of this celebration today. It is my honor, duty, and joy to introduce Dr. Martin Perez. He is a dedicated educational leader whose career spans over 2 decades in higher education. Currently serving as the Dean of Student Success at Houston Community College Southeast, Dr. Perez has made a tremendous impact since joining HCC in 2014. Prior to his roles at College of the Mainland and San Jacinto, helped to underscore his commitment to advancing student success and development, both within Houston proper, the area, and the Gulf Coast region. A U.S. Navy and Air National Guard veteran, Dean Perez is a first-generation college graduate who holds a Doctorate of Education from Texas Southern University, along with a Master's in Multicultural Studies and a Bachelor's in Psychology and Sociology from the University of Houston Clear Lake. His life journey exemplifies the power of education to transform lives, a mission he has passionately pursued through his roles and extensive service on numerous committees. His insight and expertise has added greatly to student enrollment and retention efforts, diversity, student scholarships, and data analytics, where he has played an instrumental role in shaping policies and supporting students from all walks of life. Beyond his professional achievements, Dr. Perez actively supports the community through his roles on the East End Chamber of Commerce Board, the AAMA, the Association for Advancement of Mexican Americans, and the Diversity Advisory Board for the League City Police Department. He is also engaged in Port of Houston's Partners in Maritime Education Program and has volunteered for over 15 years teaching Sunday school. Dean Perez has been married to Priselda for over 25 years, and together they have 2 children and 1 grandchild. In his free time, tell me how you get that, he enjoys spending time with his family, reading, watching movies, and, wait for it, dancing. His dedication, compassion, and lifelong commitment to education and community service make him an invaluable asset to our college and inspiring a future for all of us. Please help me welcome Dr. Martin Perez.
Thank you. Thank you. Put my readers on. Yep, it's that time. I'm a little older. I am pleased to recognize retired Sergeant Shalyn Kennedy, a dedicated professional with remarkable history of service and expertise. Shalyn served in the U.S. Army from 2011 to 2022, specializing in infantry and supply chain and logistics. His service was marked by excellent leadership and management, qualities that he brings to our VMAS team. Shalyn joined the VMAS team as a work study in 2023, quickly demonstrating his dedication to supporting fellow veterans and their families. Today, as a part-time VA assistant, he continues to uphold this commitment, bringing exceptional dedication to his work. His contributions have led to significant advancements in our automation and operational efficiency, streamlining processes, and enhancing departmental impact. He is currently pursuing his degree in supply chain and logistics technology with a minor in construction management at the University of Houston. Beyond his professional achievements, he was blessed with two amazing children, Siani and Miles. Shalin feels truly honored to be recognized with this award and look forward to continuing his contribution to the HCC and the VMAS team and the community at large. Come up, Shalin.
All right. Now we are at a slideshow, a thank you slideshow presentation from HCC presidents.
For nearly a century, Veterans Day has provided us with a time for reflection, to recognize, remember, and to express our deepest gratitude to those men and women who have defended our nation and risked their lives to protect our values, our beliefs, and our freedoms. It's a privilege for me to record this message in honor of our veterans. You see, my father served in combat during World War II. Two of my uncles were wounded, one in the Battle of the Bulge, and another was a Marine Corps helicopter pilot in Vietnam. They, like so many others, stepped forward to stand in the breach and risk everything for those they loved. And in so doing, they have left an indelible imprint on the lives of so many, including me. On Veterans Day, we have the opportunity to recognize the service and sacrifice of all those who paid for the costs and blessings of our liberty. We should also make note that our veterans represent the diversity and character of our great nation, and our military is far stronger because of it. And our veterans are leaders and volunteers both inside and outside of the service. It's hard for me to imagine any better role models for our citizens. In closing, we owe a debt of gratitude to all those who served and to their families who made sacrifices. You know, veterans often carry heavy burdens. They make a conscious choice to live a life of sacrifice and service for the greater good and for all America. And for those who made the ultimate sacrifice, we owe a debt that can never, ever be repaid. To all our veterans, we say thank you. Thank you for everything you have done for our nation and for the many ways you continue to serve your communities and your country. Thank you for providing all of us with a future that is much brighter with promise because of your defense of our freedom.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jerome Drain, President of HCC Online College. Today, we come together to honor and celebrate the incredible men and women who have served our nation with steadfast dedication and courage. Veterans Day is a time to reflect on the sacrifices made by our veterans and to express our deepest gratitude for your service. To all our veterans, your bravery and commitment have safeguarded the freedoms we cherish. Your journey, marked by selflessness and strength, is a beacon of inspiration for us all. At HCC Online College, we are immensely proud to have you as part of our family. Your unique experiences and perspectives enrich our institution, and your self-discipline is a model for your fellow students. Transitioning from military service to higher education is no small feat. Please know that we are here to support you every step of the way. Whether you need tutoring, guidance, or any other resources, know that we are here for you. On this special day, we want to acknowledge your sacrifices and remind you that they have not gone unnoticed. On behalf of everyone at HCC Online College, I thank you for your service. May this Veterans Day be filled with pride for all that you have accomplished and filled with excitement for the future that you are building at HCC today.
To our veteran employees and students at Houston Community College, Happy Veterans Day from HCC Coleman College. Whether you served in the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, or Coast Guard, you have protected the people of your country and preserved the freedoms we often take for granted. Most people cannot answer a call that requires so much courage and sacrifice, but you did. Whether you served for a short or long period, your selfless act is a debt that can never be repaid. To our veteran employees, thank you for your continued service here at HCC and your unwavering support and leadership to our students. To our veteran students, thank you for choosing and trusting HCC to serve your educational career goals and prepare you for a promising future. Once again, Happy Veterans Day.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mike Webster, President of HCC Southwest. It is my honor to wish all of our veterans a happy Veterans Day. Houston proudly hosts the largest veteran population in Texas and the second largest in the United States. Our veterans are truly the lifeblood of our region, enriching our city with their presence and service. Throughout my years in workforce development, partnering with businesses across the region, one message has remained clear. Employers are eager to hire veterans. Industry leaders consistently express their enthusiasm for the unmatched skills, knowledge, and experience that veterans bring to the workforce. Veterans embody qualities that today's employers value: integrity, grit, teamwork, and resilience. These traits perfectly align with the needs of our local industries. On this 80th anniversary of the official naming of Veterans Day and the 106th anniversary of Armistice Day, I extend my deepest gratitude and congratulations to all veterans for your service and dedication to our country. Because of you, Houston is stronger, Texas is stronger, and the United States is stronger.
Greetings from Southeast College. My name is Dr. Frances Villagrán Glover, and I have the honor of serving as president of Southeast College. I am also a proud United States Marine Corps spouse, sister of a United States Air Force veteran, and the daughter of a World War II veteran. To our student veterans, thank you for your service and sacrifice. Whether active duty, Guard, or Reserve, your commitment to protecting our nation is admirable. Your life experiences and leadership add tremendous value in the classroom and throughout our community. To our military family members, thank you as well for your sacrifices. As spouses and dependents, you also shoulder burdens so your loved ones can serve. Your constant support means everything to us. For our students' military ties, know we strive to support you. You bring strengths like discipline, resilience, and camaraderie that enrich our HCC College. We are honored you chose to build your future at HCC. Know that we have your back. Semper Fi, and happy Veterans Day.
With two cousins who served in the Army in World War II and the Marine Corps in Vietnam, respectively, and a dad who served in the Air Force, my dad, I'm aware of some of the aspects of life for many families across this great country. On this Veterans Day, let us remember the service of our veterans and let us renew our national promise to fulfill our sacred obligations to our veterans and their families who have sacrificed so much so that we can live free. To the veterans, thank you for your sacrifice, your valor, your protecting us, and for defending our rights. We will never forget you.
I'm Zachary Hodges, president of Houston Community College Northwest. Well, it's that time of year again where it's rolled around for Veterans Day. What a significant day for all of those who have made the ultimate contribution, but a major contribution to this country in our freedom, in our safety, and our security. I am a veteran. I was in the Army Reserve for 6 years, so I know how that feels, and I know that I feel great about it. But I'm going to say a word to our students and say, thank you for your contribution, and whatever we can do to help you achieve your goals here in civilian life, we want to do that here at Houston Community College. So make sure you reach out for all the services that we have available to you. to help you with your success. Have a great day and a great year and a great life.
Thank you again. Before we move to the presentation of these challenge coins, I think it's only fair that I want to thank my mother first for making me so handsome, but I want to thank the HCC cosmetology department for getting my head together, and I want to encourage anyone in the area. You need some great styling. Please go see these great stylists. I've had 3 different ones now, and everyone's been a great look, and I wanted to share that with you, to thank them also. So sometimes I need to explain to people what challenge coins are, especially to the civilian community. This might seem like a strange ritual, strange way that we settle problems or decide who's going to pay for everything. So what a challenge coin is everyone in the military at a certain rank, and particularly your high-ranking officers or your big-time chiefs, your master chiefs or sergeant majors of the Marine Corps, your vice admirals, people of a pretty hefty rank will have a coin with them, and what they're doing as they're touring around, they're looking for the outstanding people that they meet. And when they meet one, they're going to shake your hand and put this coin in your hand. This signifies that you met that person and that person deemed you worthy of that award. So the way it works is, and we're at school, so I'm going to substitute, when Marines are buying water, well, we're just water. We're buying water. When Marines are buying water and we need to decide who's going to pay for all of these bottles of water, one Marine will produce his or her challenge coin to the group. Then the rest of the Marines, sailors, whoever we're with, they're going to pull out their challenge coins. And what we're looking for is who has been in proximity to the top of our chain of command. And if you're a civilian, you don't understand. To people in the military, we have no president. It is the Honorable Mr. or Mrs. We have no Secretary of the Navy. It's the Honorable Mr. or Mrs. So we're looking to see who has met someone higher than everyone else in the group. And if you have met the highest person, you won't be paying for things. But if you have not met anybody, which shows that maybe you just weren't chosen like that, then you're going to be the one to pay for everything. So that's how we veterans solve that at places like the VFW or the American Legion Hall. Are there any members here? VFW, American Legion. All right. So if you're a civilian, what we're giving you right now, this is the VFW and American Legion experience. It's just there's no bar back there. So with that, we are going to move into the presentation of these challenge coins. And this will be with Kenneth Hernandez, faculty member, business management and real estate.
Is this on? Okay, I just want to add just a couple of more items to Chris's description of the challenge coin. In case you didn't know this, the origins go back to the Roman times. The Romans were given special coins by their superiors, and they treasured it as something of value, celebrating their time in service and all. But since then, things have moved up. Actually, the first major story came out in World War I, in which an Air Force member of a group received their coins, was sent overseas. He was shot down. The Germans decided that they were going to essentially execute him, so he devised a plan, escaped. He escaped, and he was in France, and he was captured by the French underground. They decided that he was a spy, and they were going to shoot him. But he took out what he had around his neck was that challenge coin that he had from his unit, and one of them recognized it, saved his life. Now, we bring it up to the modern times in which, you want to call it a bar? I used to just call it a water hole myself, or a tavern or any other place. And again, we have this tradition that we would put a coin down, someone would essentially challenge. Now, because of the diversity of all the different type of challenge coins that are out there and all the different services, it was he or she who did not have a coin that would pick up the tab. So it is highly recommended that every service person keep the coin in your pocket, or else you're going to be paying a big bill because there'll be more than just one or two people in that bar. That's the modern situation with coins. I've had the privilege, working here at HCC for many years. I won't say how many, but many. That I helped develop the HCC Challenge coin. And I'm very proud of that. It has been dispersed to hundreds of different people over the years. I continue enjoying this type of a ceremony and recognizing folks to give them their challenge coin. And I hope that the rest of you, the civilians in line, thank that veteran. It's been said before by a few other folks here. I'll say it again. That's the person that backs up your rights, backs up your privileges, that will put his life on the line or her life on the line to make sure that it is intact. I don't say this sarcastically or negatively, really. The Congress people, they might have wrote it up, but they don't pick up the arm. They don't stand the watch. We do. And we're proud of doing that and hope that you appreciate it. The last item I will mention should be dear to your heart. Today is November the 8th. In 2 days from now, you know what's going to happen. In 2 days from now, we will be celebrating the birth, the public birth of United States Marines, their birthday. So, happy birthday, Marines. And believe me, as being a Navy vet, I really appreciate the Marines. I'm always giving them a ride somewhere. And for free, too, a free passage. But that's okay. I love the Marines because they go in first. That's why. Thank you, James. All right, let me proceed with the ceremony.
Okay, can all the veterans stand and line up on this side, please? Let's switch in here. So you come here, and then you walk right here, because they're going to line up here. Okay, and they're going to shake it. Okay. Okay.
All right, veterans, ladies and gentlemen, as I take my seat, we will have the closing remarks. And I just want to say before I do take my seat, it has been my pleasure. It is always my honor to be before you. I'm proud to be a product of HCC. I'll scream it from the highest mountain, because when you need some help, it sure is nice when somebody's there. And HCC helped me to reinvent myself, and I hope you like it. So we will have our closing remarks from Dr. Rima Adil, the Interim Vice Chancellor of Student Services.
Thank you, Chris. You have been outstanding, and what a wonderful event. Thank you so much for putting this together. I do like to quickly acknowledge the veterans team and the committee who put today's event together. This was the best 2 hours spent today. So thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, trustees, presidents, our other leaders, of our members of the executive team, our faculty, staff, the students, everyone who took time to be here to celebrate this special day with us today. But one more important, very important guest among us is our Senior Executive Vice Chancellor, Dr. Norma Perez. She will do our official remarks to close today. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, as we come to the close of our Veterans Day celebration, I want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to all the veterans here with us today, and to those who couldn't be here but continue to serve in their own way. Today is a reminder of the extraordinary sacrifices you have made, the courage you have shown, and the resilience you embody. You are not only heroes on the battlefield, but pillars in our communities, leaders in our classrooms, and mentors to us all. Let us all continue to honor the legacy of service and commitment that our veterans represent. As we leave here today, let's carry forward the spirit of unity and gratitude, making every day a tribute to those who serve and protect our freedoms. Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, veterans, for your service. Happy Veterans Day, and may we never forget the strength and sacrifice of those who serve. Thank you, and for the Marines, Semper Fi. My brothers were Marines. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our program. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you.
if you can hear me, if you are a veteran, can I have your attention for 2 seconds, please? If you are a veteran, the Chancellor would love the opportunity to be photographed with your beautiful faces. So if you are a veteran, please come up to the front. We're going to take a group picture. All right, veterans, come on. Okay, so we'll have you line up right here.
Like stilettos, like
I forgot to put them on.
I was like,
Alrighty. So we'll have the Chancellor step up. Oh. Okay. So we're gonna stagger. So everybody turn to your side. Okay. I'm gonna have you in between here. Okay, James, can you get behind this baby?
Sit Neil Ben stand.
That way you're in front.
Second row.
No, it's okay. We don't have to all be around. Okay, so I'll have you guys come forward. Okay, you gentlemen, if you could get behind there, please. Okay. She's hiding.
Then you need to drag her out.
Alrighty. Alrighty. You want to be photographed, Mr. Glover?